I don't need it.
Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and today I'm stopping caffeine cold turkey. No, wait. Double espresso, please. Tomorrow I'm stopping. Hey Best Pally, Oh dear. This is ridiculous. Okay. I've been putting off doing this video for a while. Caffeine is the reason I wake up in the morning. It's the reason I like people. I'm pretty sure it might be my entire personality, which is why I don't want to give it up. Now that makes it sound like I have a lot, but I really don't. I have 150 milligrams a day. The average American has 200 milligrams, and they say it's safe to have 400 or less. But the more I've read lately, specifically Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker and Caffeine by Michael Pollan, I'm realizing that I might function better without it. After I go through caffeine withdrawal, of course. We think caffeine is great because it makes us less tired, but then it also disrupts your sleep, so you will be more tired and then need more caffeine. You know when you stick a Q-tip in your ear? I know the box says not for inside your ears. Even they know that's a lie. You got the Q-tip in there and it feels so good scratching that itch that the Q-tip caused. You didn't have that itch before the Q-tip went in, but now the Q-tip is the precise thing you desperately need. That is like caffeine. It solves a tough problem that it created. So I need to see if I'll get better sleep when I'm off of the juice. I'll be tracking my sleep stages, my performance in the gym, any glucose changes, my mood. Feel like it's gonna be a lot of mood. Caffeine does have a lot of benefits, and I'll explain those later, but the idea of having this positive and negative all in one has me really curious if this detox is gonna be good or bad. Besides improving my sleep, I also want to detox because I haven't been feeling that high from caffeine lately. A double espresso used to make me like, yeah, and now I'm like, did that do anything? Let me be clear, caffeine is a drug. It's a psychoactive stimulant, and I treat it like that. I had a rule to never go over 100 milligrams, and then that started creeping up to that 150, and then I was like, wait a minute, this seems like I'm an addict. So I don't think I should go higher. I should resensitize my body to it, which should also clue you in that I plan on having caffeine at the end of these 7 days, unless something miraculous happens with my body to convince me otherwise. On my way to my studio this morning, I called my mom like I do every morning, except this time, I was boring. I'm usually super excited to talk about what I'm working on or her day, and today I was just bleh. I thought caffeine makes me like other people, but I'm pretty sure caffeine makes other people like me too. I picked the worst day to start this. I've been traveling, so I'm super behind, and I had to shoot a vertical video and now work on a song and probably the music video for it too, and I have a million emails, and all of this is just slightly less fun than it usually is. Okay, significantly less fun. I thought I liked my job. Oh, this is so stupid. The music video has me headbanging, and I never get headaches, and I definitely have a headache. Did I mention I picked the worst day to start this? Morning. Not good morning, just morning. Oh, the framing on the shot is garbage. I don't care, whatever. Treating myself to a water, and it sucks. Last night I was gonna give you all the insights on how I felt, but I fell asleep on the couch. Yeah, just knocked out earlier than usual, and that's not like me. So I was fully ready to have a really great night's sleep and wake up feeling awesome. I woke up with an alarm's help and groggy. I think the caffeine had to have been completely out of my system by the time I went to bed last night, which is not the case if you have caffeine that morning. But yeah, look, my deep sleep is still red, not good. Restfulness is crap, well, timing is crap too. So there are other variables in there, but not having caffeine was not some sort of miraculous night. I'm hoping over the long term that will change. Ugh, I just had the worst podcast ever. I feel like I'm just slower. Everything comes out. My brain is in a fog. Also, I think this shot is overexposed. Whatever. I'm sorry this video sucks. I don't know if this video sucks or just everything sucks for me right now. Now I'm propping my head off, whatever. I wanted to point out that I'm super bloated today. I did not read anything about this. This is just my own end of one study. But caffeine is a diuretic, and I feel just bleh, because I'm hanging on to water. I didn't flush it all out today. You got Starbucks? Here. No, get out. You're a bad influence. 200 milligrams. How dare you? Oh, hi. A new scene and me still complaining. I have a bit of a headache, and now I can't blame it on headbanging. It's not super bad, but any sort of headache for me is bad because I never get them. And in general, I just feel fragile and unmotivated. I'm just staring at a full inbox, and usually I want to power through it, and now I just don't. I am definitely feeling the effects of caffeine withdrawal, and I'm surprised it's this bad because I didn't have that much, especially compared to the average American. but it's hitting me. And I didn't know how much I was relying on caffeine to get me back to baseline. Sure, I stopped feeling the high effects, but I didn't know that if I didn't have it, I would actually be this low. I'm about to work out. I mentioned that caffeine has a lot of benefits, and a lot of them are very much related to working out. I would memorize these, but my brain is not working. So it will give you focus and energy, increase epinephrine, which is the fight or flight hormone, so you can push harder. It induces the breakdown of fat in cells. It improves muscle performance. It gives you endorphins. You'll feel awesome. It helps you burn more calories through thermogenesis and more. There are a lot more. I'm not gonna read them. So there is a reason it's in pre-workout and a reason I'm very bummed I'm not drinking pre-workout right now. Now with any type of drug, sometimes cycling off of it will increase its benefits. So it's great I'm detoxing, right? There's a study that found there is no reason to cycle off or withdraw from caffeine to amplify its benefits. So this challenge is to solely improve my sleep, which in turn should help my recovery and improve my workouts, but I'm missing all the other workout benefits. Oh, I'm nervous. This is very much close to my 1 rep max, but I hit this last week. All right. Well, not better than last week. Ideally, you always want to be better than next week. That's the point of working out. And I can't help but think that I would be if I was not in caffeine withdrawal. Fell asleep on the couch again, and again, still pretty crappy deep sleep and restfulness. So Aura showed me something I've never seen before. Try to push your bedtime a little later than usual. My ring is telling me I'm going to sleep too early. At least twice a week, I join Braximum on its morning walk. And I thought I loved morning walks, but I may just love the pre-workout that I have before them. Caffeine may increase blood levels of adrenaline and dopamine and norepinephrine. Those are all the feel-good neurotransmitters. And I always had that feel-good in connection with a walk, and I am missing it right now. Oh, are you tired, bro? Yeah, me too. So again, my sleep is not improved, and I think it's gonna take a lot longer to get through the effects of really what caffeine has done to me. Let's talk about what caffeine does to you. You should listen to this because it's scary. So throughout the day, this chemical starts building up in your body, and it's used to make you tired. The more that builds up, the more that you're dealing with, the drowsier you get, and it's called adenosine. And caffeine acts just like adenosine, although that makes it sound like caffeine would make you tired. No, let's pretend that this is an adenosine receptor, the docking station in your brain, and then this is the neurotransmitter adenosine. And it comes in and hits in your brain, and your brain goes, oh, there's a lot of that adenosine, I must be tired. Now, this is what caffeine looks like when it's in your body, so it locks in that same spot, and then the adenosine can't get in, and so you don't get tired. Great, awesome, miracle, except the adenosine still keeps building up, so you're not actually getting any less tired, you're just not realizing that you are. And then your body might start making more adenosine because it's not getting the receptors, but then you drink more coffee and block it again, and it builds up, and learning that is why I said, oh, maybe caffeine isn't as great as I thought. Good thing I'm vegan, otherwise I'm confident I would be complaining about another problem, constipation. But I get a ton of plant fiber, so it hasn't been an issue. I'm pretty sure coffee helps a lot of people with crappy diets still be able to crappy. And I make chia pudding every night, but I'm now leaving out the cocoa because that has a little bit of caffeine. So now my pudding is just earthy chia and flax. Just trying to remove any semblance of joy this week. I woke up before my alarm. What? I've heard tales of this happening, but I never thought it could actually be real or happen to me. Look at this, my deep sleep is no longer red, it is a healthy blue. I'm feeling pretty darn not bad. I'm still missing the high of caffeine, but I think I'm beyond that sleep debt. That adenosine has been cleared out. So it does feel like day 4, I no longer need caffeine. But I still want it, because morning coffee isn't just about the chemicals, it's about the habit. I really just want to go grab my mug right now. And that habit feels like a stronger addiction, honestly, at this point. And I refuse to replace it with decaf because there's up to 30% caffeine in decaf. I'm going cold turkey. And replacing with a little bit of caffeine would actually be pretty smart because everything I've read says cut down slowly on the amount of caffeine in your diet. Don't make the mistake of stopping totally. You'll likely experience withdrawal symptoms. But stopping slowly doesn't sound outrageous enough. Oh dear, I've been taking private lessons to learn how to backflip, and now I have to backflip with no stimulant. This is not as bad as I expected. I'm not feeling super worn out or de-energized or anything. Oh, thank goodness. Yes! Okay, that was crazy. I was doing a great job in my lesson today, and right now I'm high because of that, and I would have blamed it on the pre-workout, but guess I'm just high on life. That's corny. That's corny, I'm high on life. Morning, I got crap sleep again. I thought I was getting somewhere and then last night sucked, but I do have a reason. But I published a music video today and I was up till 2 a.m. last night working on it, and that just ruined everything. My deep sleep is back in the red at 34 minutes. So this is showing me that cutting out caffeine is not some miraculous thing that will immediately fix all of your sleep. And there are a lot more factors going on in my life that may be screwing my deep sleep, and I probably can't just pin it on caffeine. I should definitely not be doing this. This is just putting an addict surrounded by drugs. I pass by this sign all the time and it looks so good. Well, I guess I just came in here to, again, make this harder on myself. Ugh. Good morning! I feel swell. Ooh, I said good. Was that good for the first time in this video? Great. And my sleep score says I should not feel swell. 9 minutes of deep sleep? What? I think this is definitely a sign that caffeine is not the thing getting in the way of my deep sleep. Earlier when I mentioned that I very much treat caffeine like a psychoactive stimulant, I should have also mentioned that I'm super careful with my timing. I would definitely not go near caffeine after 3 p.m. I guess if you count the little bit of cocoa, then yes. But 3 o'clock was a hard limit because caffeine has a long half-life. It degrades in your body very slowly, about 5 hours for an average person, but could be up to 9.5. Half-life means after that period of time, half of the stimulant is still in your body. So if you have a 200 milligram Starbucks at 5 p.m., then at 11 p.m. there is still 100 milligrams, a cup of coffee, in your body when you're trying to go to sleep. So I'm thinking maybe I kept caffeine far enough away from sleep, and again, my sleep is disturbed by something else. Here's another reason that I wanted to be off caffeine and also want to be on caffeine. For sure, caffeine helps with focus. That's linear thinking. Great, so I could get a bunch of emails done. But non-linear thinking is what creativity is. You're making links between unrelated things to be creative. And if I'm too busy being caffeinated and focused, then I'll never come up with different good ideas. Have I been more creative this week? I can't think of anything that I've done that's, wow, where did that come from? I mean, that's my everyday, obviously. Hey, am I more creative? No. Yes?
Than me?
No! Am I more creative than my previous caffeinated self?
Oh, no.
Exactly the same amount of creativity.
Yeah, I just think it's dumb.
I'm getting better, what the heck? It was definitely worse several days ago. And another scary thing, there's this old study that NASA did where they got spiders high. Well, they gave them a bunch of different drugs, but the caffeinated spiders made webs that look like this. Compared to normal, that's insane. What kind of work am I doing and not realizing that it's just this disjointed, crazy weirdness? And not just weird, like ineffective. That's a really crappy web. It's not gonna work. And 80% of the human population uses caffeine, so are we just all walking around making lunatic webs? I said I wasn't gonna do this, but then I realized it would be a better video for you, so I'm drinking tonight. Because I can't imagine the day after drinking without caffeine. Oh wait, I don't have to imagine. Here we are. Now I only had one drink because I was that scared to be hungover, so I'm not hungover, but it still works to illustrate what I wanted. I got more deep sleep last night. Now if that's surprising, it's because drinking alcohol actually cuts down on your REM sleep, which is the dreaming sleep. So it's a sedative, it just knocks you out and you go right into deep sleep, which is important, but you're also missing the important REM dream sleep. And then your sleep's disrupted and you wake up earlier, so again, cutting down on the REM. And I know my REM sleep still looks blue in Aura, which is good, but it's lower than my usual. My average is around 2 hours of REM a night, so yeah, even one drink disrupted me. So I know this is a coffee detox video, but really it's a me focusing on improving my sleep quality video, so I had to bring that up. For sure I try to keep caffeine away from my bedtimes, but I've also learned to keep alcohol away from my bedtime. I can't count the number of times that specialists have come on our Total Fit Heads podcast and said, yeah, day drinking is way better. Today's walk, I have a general sense of well-being. Wow. And I'm trying to think back, is this what it was like drinking caffeine and walking? And I can't even remember. I don't remember what caffeine is like. The first 3 days at least, I was counting every single day when I would be able to have it again. And that is no longer the case. I'm not wishing for this to end, which if you'd have told me that at the beginning of this story, I would not have believed you. It's now the evening before my challenge ends, and in 7 days I still haven't found enough time to tell you all the benefits of what I just detoxed on. I specifically mean the benefits of coffee now, not detoxing. Well, let's rapid fire this. Up to 2 cups of coffee a day could decrease the risk of death from cancer, cardiovascular disease, and diabetes. Just in general, there's evidence that coffee helps you live longer. Yeah, it may also help protect against Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, lower risk of dementia, and cognitive decline. Yeah, your brain will get better on coffee. also linked to a lower risk of depression and could support liver health, so I should have drank some after my night of drinking. So after all of that positive and all of that negative I've told you about, and my subjective experience throughout this week, I still don't know if I am living better without caffeine. I have yet to decide if I'm going to break this detox when I wake up. Good morning, we have arrived. I still got crappy deep sleep, look at that. But my own feeling, my own interoception says that I had enough sleep, so do I have caffeine? Morning walk, and I'm feeling good. I'm thinking maybe I should hang on to this. Christine wanted Starbucks.
Can't wait for my caffeine.
Okay, give me a single espresso.
Of course, Braxton gets his puppuccino.
Ugh, you have no self-control. You know what that's doing to your body. I've not drank it. Just walking with my half serving of the usual. This is fine, I'm fine. I don't even want that coffee. Sitting over there, staring at me. Look at all 60 milligrams of it, taunting me. No, I don't need it. Because I'm going to have pre-workout instead. Yes, I've chosen to end my detox today, and I'm specifically choosing pre-workout for 2 reasons. Exactly measure out how much caffeine I'm getting. It really is a gamble at Starbucks. I said 64, but who knows? Their iced coffee is 200 plus. Oh, and 1 serving of this is 350. I will be having less than 1/3 of a serving. Okay, that's 90 milligrams. Second reason I chose pre-workout, I will get to that once I'm high. Ooh, nice natural purple, huh? I talked so much about the specific good effects of coffee, not caffeine. And not necessarily because it tastes good, but because our brains make the connection. Why do you think they put caffeine in Coke? Is it for the flavor? No. They did this study with bees where they put caffeine in the nectar, and the bees would go back to the caffeinated flowers every time, no question. It's not that the caffeinated flowers are necessarily better, it's that the feeling we get makes us come back. It's like alcohol secretly doesn't taste good. Don't tell anyone. But you make the connection between the euphoria, drunkenness, and the taste, and so then suddenly whiskey is delicious. Now, I would never suggest using pre-workout just for a usual day at the office. If you're gonna do it, it should be for workout performance. But I just gotta see how this hits on all aspects of my life, so we're doing emails first. Not that you wouldn't expect some TMI, but it took me 2 minutes to need a bathroom break. Okay, right at first, everything was feeling a little sharper, a little smilier, maybe even on edge. Smilier in the sense that even the mean comments on Twitter were not getting to me. What? But now it's 3 hours since drinking, and I'm feeling back to where I felt without caffeine, which is surprising because I thought it stayed in your bloodstream longer. Time to use that pre-workout for what it was intended before it's too late. The second reason I wanted pre-workout is because my training programming just so happens to have me testing my 1 rep maximum squat today. So let's see how I do with drugs. I am feeling more hyped and warmer and more flush during this workout, although that may be the other garbage that's in pre-workout like niacin and beta-alanine. And the amount of caffeine I drank was really a conservative amount. I know that my buzz would have been way higher and way longer had I had anything like even a half of or a fourth of a Starbucks. I did all that work to get it out of me, so I didn't want to blow it the first time. And also, you want MED, the minimum effective dose. Let's see if it works. This is 180, the weight I failed at last week. Oh, I'm nervous. Yes. Well, of course, we have to move up. I do believe the caffeine is magnifying the nerves, though. Well, it's no miracle. But you always have to fail a 1 RM test. If you stop on a win, you don't know if you could have gone higher. Had to give it one more shot with all the extra energy I have. Wow, I am stupid. What am I doing? Move on with the video. Now, what are the final results and where do I go from here? First, let's look at the hard data. My Aura sleep score over the week has done nothing trending anything sensibly. It's gone up, it's gone down. We're not seeing any sort of visual improvement tied to no caffeine. I also wear a Whoop at night because I'm a crazy person, and we can look at my HRV on that. Again, it's not trending any sort of way. It's just willy-nilly. And I haven't shown you anything in levels this whole time on my blood sugar response, and that's because I've noticed nothing remarkable. It's been the same as when I have caffeine. I can't tell a difference. Now, this is my call to take any hard results you get from a device with a grain of salt. Remember that night I drank and I was so excited because Aura said I got less REM sleep, which proved something? Well, look at what Whoop said on that same night. 28% of your time in bed was spent in REM sleep, meaning I had more REM that night, according to a different device, the same night. I'm not saying you should throw out your devices altogether. I'm saying you should always take into account your subjective experience, which I did have this whole week, so let's talk about my feelings. After getting past my dependency and to homeostasis, I do feel like I have not let caffeine affect my sleep that much in the past. Meaning I felt equally well rested, but perhaps I could still have better sleep and something else must be affecting my deep sleep. Or my deep sleep is not affected, it's just fine and I should stop worrying, or I should get an actual lab test sleep study to figure out if that's true or not. But I don't think the culprit is caffeine, but don't let this make you feel like you're off the hook. Chances are you have let caffeine disturb your sleep if you're an average human, and you'd be better off treating it like a psychoactive stimulant like I do. Are you under 100 milligrams? Are you stopping at noon? Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to stop at noon now. I'm going to be even more careful about this. I'm treating it even more like a scary substance. Also, I'm not saying 100 milligrams is the hard limit for everyone. You're also bigger and or smaller than me. And or. How can you be both? But yes, moving forward, I've decided to not completely cut out caffeine, but I'm absolutely going to be way more scared of it. Because clearly, based on my withdrawal symptoms, I was dependent on it, and I don't want to be dependent on anything. And I also want to stay sensitized to it. I want to keep that high feeling. Ugh, desensitized and dependent, that's the worst. So my strategy from here out is to try to have coffee maybe twice a week. If I need a little boost at work or my workout, or if I have a coffee meeting and I don't want to awkwardly stare at someone while they drink coffee and I don't even have decaf. Yes, that happened. I don't know if I can stick to this or I'll just tumble back into my addiction. Let me know if you want me to keep documenting my lack of caffeine or failure to do so moving forward. I'm also thinking about making videos where I replace caffeine with exogenous ketones or cold showers or biphasic sleep. Let me know if you want to see any of that. And if you like seeing this struggle, you'll probably like seeing me go vegan for 60 days. I'll put that down there for you. Whew. I'm about to go plant-based. As you can tell, I have a slight aversion to this, just slight. So this video will probably be different from other vegan videos you've seen because it is from the perspective of a very